Hello, everyone. Welcome to The Greater Good. This is a show that the San Diego Harbor Police Foundation graciously funds and supports, where I can bring what I consider to be important people from San Diego County. And today is no exception. We have, drumroll, Chief Magda Fernandez from the Port of San Diego Harbor Police. Good morning. How are you,
Good
Chief?
morning. Thank you. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm really good. So, prior to the show, I was thinking about some things I wanted to ask you, and I already forgot what they were. So we'll just gonna have fun with it. So, you are a brand new minted chief of police for the Port of San Diego.
I am.
Congratulations.
Thank
Yes.
you.
How's it going so far?
It's good. It's busy. Very busy.
Is that like an understatement?
It's a huge understatement.
Yeah. So let's just jump right into it. What are the biggest challenges you've got?
So, my biggest challenge currently is staffing. We're short staffed. So, we're looking for highly trained, highly motivated people that want to become police officers and work in a very diverse organization to help us out.
So when you say diverse, I mean I know a lot about the Port of San Diego Harbor Police because our foundation's been created basically to help support that organization. But why don't you tell us what's unique about being a police officer for the Port of San Diego Harbor Police?
Well, diversity for our department, our officers are not just police officers in a vehicle, black and white, that patrol the community. Our community is also patrolled via a vessel, and one of their primary responsibilities is marine firefighting,
Hmm.
as well as maintaining the safety and security of our bay, of our tenants, of our vessels that come in. And then we also are the law enforcement entity at the San Diego International Airport.
How does that work? Is that like a contract you have with
It's a
the?
contract that we have with the airport, and that we have contracted services that we provide 24 hours a day,
Hmm.
both in within the terminal and outside on the ramp.
Similar to what the sheriff's department does for various municipalities throughout the county. They contract their agency to provide law enforcement 24/7. Yeah,
Sure. Hmm.
yeah. And you've got a number of special units in your department.
We do. We have task forces that our officers can participate in. We work very closely with the Marine Task Force. So they go out and they do vessel interdictions where we deal with trafficking of weapons, trafficking of humans, trafficking of drugs. Um, so they work very closely with our maritime partners. We also have people assigned to the narcotics task force, and that works directly at the airport with the DEA.
Hmm.
And we also have officers assigned to the Joint Terrorism Task Force, and they work very closely with the FBI.
Very cool.
Hmm.
And you have some really outstanding canine teams. You've got, is it five canine
We
teams?
do. We have 5 canine teams. They're all explosives detection canines, and we have 5 great handlers that support their canines. Their canines get to live with them. They get their own vehicle. They get to ride in, and they're treated like royal. The dogs are treated like royalty.
Yeah, as they should.
But they're a regional asset, and we deploy those dogs when there is a potential bomb threat or a bomb scare anywhere in the region. We've deployed them to the football games, the Super Bowl when they had it in Los Angeles. We deployed one
Mhm.
of our canines there to help. They're TSA certified, so anywhere TSA is and they need the support, we can support them by sending them a dog.
That's a pretty rigorous program. So that you actually get the dogs from TSA and then send your officers to Lackland Air Force Base for the introduction and training. Is that right?
Correct.
Yeah,
That is correct. Mhm.
yeah, yeah. You also have an extraordinary dive team.
Yes.
Like,
Yes,
like,
we have a pretty big, robust dive team. They have all the neat toys. They dive with the Navy EOD divers as well, and we work collaboratively to make sure that the bay is secure. They've they're pretty special. They have traveled overseas and have worked with different governments to develop training for underwater evidence collection
mm,
through the Department of State. They have also, and for us and through the region, we have deployed them all over to operate in lakes, in the lake environment and in the ocean environment,
Nice, very
not just
nice.
in San Diego Bay. Yeah.
And you have another specialized team. It's called MARTAC. So what's that about?
That is our maritime tactical team. So it's equivalent to a municipality SWAT team. They train with other SWAT partners or SWAT teams in the region. Specifically, they train with the sheriff's department in San Diego PD. So they attend those SWAT academies. And then we specialize them with vessel boardings and their secrets tactical operations on the boats that I don't partake in.
No.
But they're high speed, low drag, highly trained, motivated, dedicated group of officers that we have on that team.
Yeah, I've seen them in action when the foundation started. As you recall, we did Harbor Police in action and got to watch all of your teams perform for the public, and it was quite an event. So yeah, I'm proud to be associated with you guys. That's outstanding. So I mean, if I'm a young, healthy male, female, and looking for a great career, I mean, my gosh, you can become a firefighter, a police officer, canine handler, MARTAC, SWAT team kind of person, underwater diving, foot patrol, airport work. I mean, my gosh, every day you could have like a new job assignment. Is that how that works?
That is exactly how that works. A lot of the positions that we have above and beyond patrol, vessel patrol, or airport are collateral assignments.
Mm,
So being part of the MARTAC unit is a collateral assignment. It's not a primary duty. So it's kind of like the world is your oyster at the harbor police. You have the ability to do whatever it is you want,
mhm,
as long as you prep for it, you train for it, because we want the most qualified person filling those positions.
for
So
sure.
it's all in how you prepare. We're happy to train you and get you ready for that as well. So we also have vessel collision investigators, we have peer supporters, we have vehicle traffic investigators. So there's drone operators. There's a lot of opportunities.
My gosh. Yeah. So what's the retention rate like within the Port of San Diego Harbor Police?
Um, well, we're struggling with retention a little bit. We have officers that are leaving the state entirely just because the cost of living,
Yeah.
and and sometimes officers leave to join other departments where sometimes they don't have to wear a uniform, or they get take home
Mhm.
vehicles, or
Right.
just different things that suit them and their family a little bit better than working three shifts, or having to wear a uniform. There's
Right.
a lot of um, anti law enforcement rhetoric that kind of turns people away from being law enforcement. I
Right.
understand it,
No, for sure.
and support the decisions that the officers have to make in the interest of themselves and their families.
Well, in the 4 years I've been associated with your department, um, I've yet to find an officer that wasn't a pleasant person, and that has to come from the top down. So, just my observation. Congratulations on that.
Thank you. Yes. So, yeah, we're blessed. We have a great group of officers and civilian support staff that, as a team, we work together and working collaboratively to make sure that we get over the staffing issue. And it's a lot. It's a lot of stress and burden and burnouts that our officers are going through.
Sure.
And I give our officers a lot of I have a lot of respect, I guess I should say, for our officers,
Mhm.
and give them praise because they do work a lot, and they give a lot, and they sacrifice a lot for harbor police.
Yeah. Of course, this dilemma that you're in the middle of is not unique to anyone in law enforcement these days. It seems like there's a lack of interest in becoming a law enforcement officer universally. So,
And
but
it's just not police officers. We're seeing that with our dispatchers. Our
right,
communication center is also short staffed, and we're working very hard to get dispatchers in there. It's a critical role that they play for us. And, it's a national issue where comm centers are short staffed, along with cops and firefighters and doctors and nurses,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
unfortunately, it's hitting all the professions.
Yeah, yeah, that is. It's hard to get my arms around why that is, since the professions themselves are still interesting, adventuresome. They pay well. Uh, I guess hopefully that'll turn around. So if I wanted to be a police officer in your department, there are no age limits. I understand, as long as I can pass the physical
That
and
is correct.
emotional and mental. I'd probably fail there, just because I can't remember half the things I'm supposed to. But um, really, I don't know why people wouldn't be interested in your department, because it's so diverse. I mean, my gosh, most most police officers in municipalities don't have those kind of options, or even if they have those special units, there's a wait list. It's really hard to get into those units. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I also think sometimes people just really don't know we exist, and some people that do know we exist don't really know what we do.
right.
And it's some people just think we're a small municipality, um, or boat our harbor patrol. A lot of people confuse us with harbor patrol,
Right.
so thinking we have only special or limited powers of arrest, where
Mm,
we have full powers of arrest and we're fully certified
right.
post peace officers.
Well, when Chief Stainbrook and I concocted this idea to start the Harbor Police Foundation, that's what I said to him. I said, Mark, nobody knows who you are. If you walk down the Embarcadero and you see a Port of San Diego Harbor police officer, most everyone's going to say, oh, they're part of San Diego Police Department, which is not even close to accurate. So that's when we put on that big show. But I think the more awareness that our foundation can create for people by doing shows like this and introducing wonderful people like yourself, then hopefully people will get that message. But let's talk about you for just a minute, because you're you just got catapulted. I mean, literally from the captain's chair to the chief of police in what, couple of months? How? I mean, we don't need to go into the details there, but that's not normal. I mean, talk about trial by fire.
So it has been trial by fire in many aspects. Fortunately, I'm sure, well, I was homegrown here. I joined the department in 2001 as a rookie police officer, and I made it a point to make sure that I learned almost every aspect of this department, or touched every aspect of what this department does and
Hmm.
offers. So
Yeah.
from being a vessel collision investigator to being part of the startup of our peer support group, to being part of a task force, being
Hmm.
a detective, being, as a airport lieutenant, patrol lieutenant. I've tried to do everything that this department touched. So the transition was hard. There's just a lot of things I hadn't experienced, but I think foundationally I had everything to move forward.
Right.
So,
But
and
now, but now you're a politician.
a bad one at that.
Oh, I
Um,
don't know about that. You're honest, so that puts you in a different category than most. But
Perhaps.
you said something about marine investigations, but you came with quite a lot of knowledge about marine world prior to being on this department, right?
I did. I spent 23 years with the United States Coast Guard, um, and traveled with them and did a lot of different aspects, from environmental investigations, pollution investigations, to merchant mariner credential um, investigations. I was a vessel collision investigator with the Coast Guard, and that's kind of how I really got involved with the harbor police. I
Mm,
met I met an incredible officer that essentially was very well versed in what he did in the
mhm,
water, and then as he arrested people, then I would work with him to make sure that the Coast Guard regulations were enforced as well.
mm. Interesting. So 20 plus years with the Coast Guard and 20 plus years with Harbor Police. And I don't know how that's possible since I think you told me the other day you were 42.
I,
So
I wish.
my
I wish I was that
my
young.
my math is way off.
Well, I did 6 years of active duty with the Coast Guard, and then I
I see.
transferred over into the reserves, and that's what allowed me to work with the Harbor Police. So I retired out of the Coast Guard as a reserve from the Coast Guard CJIS, the Coast Guard Criminal Investigative
Mm-hmm.
Division, if you will.
Nice. Yeah. Well, it sounds like a great adventure that you're on, and now you're at the top. You're the top cop, and I'm really excited to have you as our chief. As you know, our foundation works very, very closely with Chief Fernandez and the Port of San Diego Harbor Police. And, one of our three-legged stool legs is officer wellness. And, what, and by the way, we have how many listeners, Sarah? I don't know. 50,000 is the last reported number. So if 50,110 people, if they're listening, I want them to know that officer wellness is a very important element of what our foundation does. And it's not just, all about buying meals for officers. It's really digging in to important issues like resilience and bereavement and officer support and creating legacy awards for officers and sporting activities. And just it doesn't end, and we're just excited to be there to support you guys.
Well, Jeff, we're eternally grateful. I'm eternally grateful for all the support that the foundation has had. Sometimes it's little things that make a big difference for our officers, and the support that the foundation has provided in helping us with even the resiliency program that we're looking to develop, to the gym, to incentives for officers to participate in these fun challenges that we do.
Yeah.
It helps with our morale, it helps with our fitness, it helps with our health, and it gives us something other than police work to really focus on.
Right.
And it's those distractions that we need, and we appreciate the foundation's support on that.
Well, we're thrilled to do it.
Officer wellness is one of my priorities. Being a long-term, forever peer supporter, I care about our people, not just as police officers, but as human beings and their families and what they go through, because I've been there, right?
Yeah.
I haven't gone through every experience, but our people is my priority.
Yeah, it's evident when you walk around the halls of your department. People have there's just a sense, that it's a family, and it's refreshing. I've been around many other police departments and agencies in my life, even when I was a former federal agent. And your department is special. It's really unique, and so we're excited to be a part of it. I did have an opportunity to put Eugene Wielden on our show a few weeks ago, and he told me before the show that he was scared to death to be here to talk on the radio or this platform. And I thought, well, what are you afraid of? I mean, my gosh, you're a big, tough police officer. You've talked people off buildings. He leaps in tall bounds, and I mean, he's a remarkable man. So hopefully you're not nervous, are you? Chief?
A little.
Get out. Sarah knows we don't put people on the spot on this show. This is just all about talking about the great things that you do as a person, not the least of which is that you are the first Latino police chief for the Port of San Diego Harbor Police in its entire history. So when was the department formed? 1964?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what is that, like 68 years, something like that? Yeah, that's congratulations.
I'm honored. I'm humbled. I'm the first homegrown female in the department to make it to the top. And it hasn't come without its challenges. But I also understand I understand the struggles that took for me to get here, and getting here was a little bittersweet. But
Right.
I sit in this chair with a lot of pride and a lot of honor, humility, um, and very grateful that I'm blessed to have the team that I do. My command team is an incredible team, and our police officers here are pretty amazing people.
Yeah.
So I'm humbled to be able to serve them as their chief and work for them.
Yeah, when I talk to people, those of you who don't understand how the Port of San Diego works, there's an organization called the Port Tenant Association, or what's the new time?
The Working Waterfront.
Working Waterfront Association. So that's 880 members or so that live or work or have a business on port property. And so those 880 businesses, I have opportunity to talk to a lot of those people. And the first thing they tell me as soon as they find out I'm associated with the Harbor Police Department is that those are the coolest cops they've ever come across. And not only are they cool, but they respond within minutes to any issue whatsoever. And so I know that the San Diego Police Department has, got some troubles in terms of their retention as well. But, their response time could be from never to a half an hour. And, and it's not their fault, of course. But, when people in the Port of San Diego Association, the tenants, the hotel and restaurants and the businesses, when they have an issue, your team is on it like crazy. It's remarkable.
Yeah, we love our community. Our community is very supportive. We're fortunate to have the support of well, I call our community, but it is our tenants, and that's what we strive for, right? Because they're people, and those are my priorities as a chief.
Yeah.
So it's not just the businesses, it's serving the people that are part of those businesses and making sure they can be successful and be safe and secure in the areas that they work and play and live in.
Yeah. So I had lunch the other day with Deborah Scott from Costera. She's a partner of the Cohen Restaurant Group, and a remarkable woman like you, came literally from the ground up. I mean, I remember she was known for wearing combat boots and shorts and a T-shirt and managing her kitchen firmly. But now look what she's created. But her main restaurant is Costera, and it's part of your beat. And she wanted me to say hello to you. She'd love to invite you for lunch whenever you'd like, or she'll come to you. But she's just excited as a fellow woman, someone who's come from the bottom up to be so successful. She's very, very anxious to meet you. So I'll reach out to your executive assistant, Diana, and see if we can get you on the books for that.
Absolutely. And I love her restaurant. I was just there yesterday.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so it's an incredible place to visit. For those of you who haven't, I encourage you to visit there. The views are amazing. The food is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's where I like to take two people for lunch.
We're in the formation stages of an event that hopefully will be at Costera, and it's going to be, with your permission and the port's permission, a gala-like event. So, we all get to dress up, but it's going to be interactive with your department, along with Perkins K-8 School, which is another one of our missions. That's in the Barrio Logan. And, the theme might be, are you smarter than a third grader? Or are you more rugged than a police? I'm not sure. We haven't really defined exactly what it's going to look like yet, but it's going to incorporate, what your fine department does, along with education at the kindergarten through 8th grade level. And so Principal Hernandez over there, he's already working on questions for the crowd. So you might need to study up a little bit there, Chief.
I think I'm a little bit more nervous for that now.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I'm not smarter than the third grader because I've been over there to Perkins and listened to those teachers talking about fractions and
Oh yeah.
equations and all this stuff, and I go, wait a minute, somewhere in that fog memory of mine, I think did that, but it's gone. It's gone forever. So I'll duck out. I'll be hiding in the kitchen when they start asking questions. But that's going to be sometime in February or March of next year. So hopefully by then, you'll be able to get your numbers back up where you can have full strength and operate your department with more officers and dispatchers and staff. Yeah. So you're a full-time police officer. As chief, you're on duty 24 hours a day. What do you do to maintain your sanity?
When I have time.
Yeah, right.
um, well, I like the outdoors a lot. I go hiking. I
Mm,
spend a lot of time with my boys, and
yeah,
we're diehard Padres fans.
yeah,
I love the Padres, and thankfully the Padres are extremely supportive of law enforcement. So we get to
yeah,
go as a department sometimes with
yeah,
members of the department, and I know you guys have sponsored us to attend those games. So
yep,
that is a lot of fun for me,
yep,
and I use that to kind of just decompress and talk to other people and who share the Padres in common, right?
exactly.
And
Yeah.
I like to golf. I'm
Oh,
terrible at it, but I sure
yeah.
have fun.
Who isn't? Golf is like one of the worst sports. I used to play golf, but it takes too long. So it,
Well, I used to box and I used to do Muay Thai, but
yeah.
I don't heal the same. I'm just not young anymore.
This- oh, well, compared to me, you're a baby.
I
But
wish.
yeah, well, I mean, as you know, I've been a martial artist for 54 years, and you're right. Those bruises, they don't go away as quickly as before.
No.
So the secret though for martial artists is, especially when you're up against one of those younger, stronger, faster, quicker people, is you have to hurt them immediately. You
Oh,
have to just get in there and get it done right away, and then they think twice about, oh, maybe that old guy is not such a pushover. So that's my secret anyway. So just keep that in mind.
I
Pass
will.
pass it along. So if you like to hike, have you ever been to Santa Margarita?
I have.
Isn't that's a gem?
That is a
Uh,
gem.
Yeah, that was taken over by a conservancy about 4 or 5 years ago, and they've really turned that magnificent hiking area around with improved hiking trails and signage, and it's fantastic. That's a gem for sure. But that's a pretty long drive for you guys. You're in South Bay, so what's your favorite hiking area?
I go out east.
Ah,
So I'm hoping to go hike Eagles Rock this weekend.
oh yeah.
So I got to do it early though because it gets hot.
Really hot, especially now with the humidity. So that area, I've been there a lot of times doing rescue work. It's unfortunate, but it's got to be done. So looking forward, we've got recruitment is a big deal. You've
Yes.
got you've got some officers that are in the academy right now, and you've got some that are lined up to start the academy. So hopefully, you get your numbers up here fairly soon.
Yeah, we're very fortunate. We have trainees in both junior and senior academy. We have other trainees lined up, ready to go in the next upcoming academy.
Mhm.
So I'll be attending a academy graduation here soon. I'm super excited to welcome
Oh,
them back to the department as trainees.
nice.
So we're making progress a little bit at a time. So I'm grateful for all the initiatives and incentives that the port has supported us on, and our CEO has been very supportive of our needs and wants
Mhm.
and desires. So we appreciate that.
So you said incentives. So there's a financial benefit for someone to be signing up to be a police officer, or maybe even a police officer that recruits someone to be part of your department. Is that how that works?
That is exactly how it works. We're offering incentives to lateral officers. We're offering a signing bonus for them, and we're giving them
What's a
vacation hours
lateral?
up front. A
What?
lateral is an officer that comes from another police department, so they
Mhm.
don't have to go back through the academy as long as they're post certified,
Got it.
or they can get post certified. So
Mhm.
they've already come through the training. So there's an incentive there for them to come over. So we're
Tell me
offering
more.
them $10,000 and
Mm.
144 hours up front of
Ooh,
vacation, because that way, God forbid, they have to take a day off or they want a day off, then they
right,
don't have to wait
right.
until they build that bank. We'll give the bank up to them up front.
I think I'll sign up. Maybe I'll put my
You're not a
application.
lateral, Jeff.
Yeah, you're right.
I'll send
Well,
you through the academy.
I,
So we're
I'd embarrass all those youngsters. Like, how does that old guy do that? So,
right. So we'll keep you at the foundation.
so what you're saying is no.
I'm not saying no. I'm just saying you do great work with the foundation.
You just don't want me to leave. I get it.
I don't
So,
want you to leave the foundation.
yes, ma'am. I always do whatever you say. Well, this is an absolute pleasure to have you on the show. I want to thank my sponsors, the San Diego Harbor Police Foundation, and its members for allowing me to do this. I get to spend some time with Chief Fernandez, but this is really special for me because I want to highlight what an incredible person you are. And I'm just so proud to know you. And I look forward to spending lots of time in the future as we continue to develop our relationship with the foundation and the department.
Thank you, Jeff. And I truly appreciate all the hard work that the foundation has done for the department, but not just our department and our staff, but for the region and the impact that you have within our community, both in with Perkins Elementary and the impact that you have on victims of human trafficking, because that is hugely important in the areas that we work in to make sure that we're safe and they're safe and they have those resources available to them. So truly grateful for that. And I am blessed to have a foundation that works as hard as you. And the members work that hard as well. And I'm blessed to work in a region where we all work very collaboratively.
Thank you. Have a great day, Chief.
You too. Thank you so much, Jeff.